Welcome back to the channel. Went ahead and set up another scenario for Warfighter World War II European theater. If you caught our first video, this will be a continuation of the soldiers that we used to retrieve the intel. This is a German versus Russia scenario. Earlier part of the war weapons 1939 are available to us. Nobody's outfitted with anything from 43 on, so this will be an early war engagement. Go ahead and get you acclimated to what we're intending to do this evening. So this is the European theater, as I mentioned. We're going to play a different type of scenario this time. Our objective is a truck convoy, and our mission starts out with blizzard conditions. So we're going to have the element of weather added to this one. One of the interesting pieces about the blizzard card is that we're going to subtract 2 from all of our environmental rolls. So that means if we have a location card which has an environmental roll, typically you have to roll that number or greater in order to pass and not suffer a suppression or a wound. In this case, we'll be challenged by having to subtract 2 from any of those types of environmental rolls that we have to make. That's due to the effect of the blizzards. So our resource points for this mission are 35. This is 10 more than what we had in the Retrieve Intel mission. Our time is 9 turns. Our objective is placed in the number 4 location box. And then our loadout is a -0. We're neither impacted positively or negatively with this mission when it comes to loading out our player soldier. When you look at our objective hex, it does carry with it the cold roll of 4 or greater. So again, we're going to be subtracting 2 from that. So in theory, we would need a 6 or higher to defeat that environmental roll. Our mission is to destroy 4 trucks. They're treated as vehicles. They have a cover of 3, and they require 1 hit each in order to destroy those. Making this even more difficult is that all hostiles pulled for this, either by the outright pull of 5 resource points for hostiles or reinforcements, need to be eliminated or suppressed before we can attack the trucks themselves. So hostiles will screen the trucks. Mentioned that we had 9 turns to complete this. I did run this scenario once on my tabletop with my tabletop Warfighter set, and I needed all 9 turns to be able to win this one. It's really easy to get bogged down, especially when we don't have that large of a platoon to engage the hostiles. We need some pretty good rolls, and grenades become really important to be able to take out some of the higher resource point value enemies quickly. So we're going to have to try to avoid getting too bogged down. As I mentioned, this is taking place in Russia, so we have the frontline and elite hostile Russian cards on the board. We're using the Russia location cards, and I think that's more or less it. Our action deck is a European action deck. We can get into the squad now. Squads that we're going to use. This is more of a platoon size engagement. The previous scenario was a squad, a non-player soldier, and a player soldier. This time, because we do have additional resource points, we were able to grab a few more soldiers. So Wahl is making a return. Did a nice job the last time leading the troops to victory. He comes with the corpsman and gut skills. He is outfitted with a canteen, and I've purchased 2 of those. So this can help him with the hardy chits to be able to overcome the environmental rolls that fail, or he's able to draw 3 cards by dispensing 1 of the canteens. So we'll see how those play out throughout the course of the scenario. He does have the first aid kit, which comes with 4 bandages to allow us to heal any wounded soldiers. And then he does carry the Model 24 grenades. I think last scenario he only came with 1. Now he has a total of 4. And the 98K rifle is back. Cheap resource point purchase cost for this, plus he gets the +1 penetration. It is bolt action, so we'll have to expend a card if we should want to fire it again during that same soldier turn. I think one of the bigger drawbacks to Wahl's card is the 1 movement factor. Makes it very difficult to get into some of the more terrain intensive location boxes, such as a warehouse. He's got a lot of cards to dispense in order to get there, or playing a good action card which helps him move. He has 2 actions, carries 5 health points. He'll be able to draw 5 player cards during a discard and draw action, but his loadout is a 12, which is pretty good, so it allows him to carry all this gear. Our close support specialist, our non-player soldier Martin, is back. Carries the SMG MP40. He has 9 ammo chits this time. This card comes automatically with 9. The previous one had 5. We talked last time about the weakness of the MP40. Although it is an auto where you get to roll 3 10-sided dice, it does jam, with 2 of those 3 10-sided dice being a 3, and it frequently will run out of ammunition, so it's nice to have that little extra ammunition buffer. He also has 3 Model 24 grenades, 2 actions, a little bit better movement point value than what Wahl had, and he has a cover of 2. Hand-to-hand value of +1, in case we should get into a situation where we're going to need that. Gusko is back. He carries with him the German nationality skill of Blitz, which allows for 1 CX card to be pulled once per turn, so that is helpful. He does have 2 actions, and he is hampered somewhat by having a range of 0 only. He does come with with 1 experience point, as does Martin. Martin gets it for the MP40. Gusko has it for his card. So we start with 2 total experience points. Because we did have 10 additional resource points aside from the grenades that I pulled for Wahl, we're going to equip ourselves with 2 additional squads, Otto and Clausen. Otto comes with a his number was up skill, which allows us to eliminate a hostile card. We can use this when it's drawn. We can use this card once per scenario. And he does have a cover of 3 with a movement point value of 3 as well. So he gets around the board a little bit easier, and he does get a better chance of avoiding rolls that defeat his cover as well, with it being at 3. Clausen comes with 2 hardy points. I couldn't find the hardy chits in the VASSAL mod, so I'm using the canteens to represent those. He has ranged attacks. Both Otto and Clausen can attack from a range of 1, which is nice. It gives the platoon a little bit more firepower at a distance than what they had in the first scenario, and Clausen has cover of 2. Once again, all the soldiers have 2 action points apiece. So that's our platoon for this mission. We'll see how they fare as we go through this. It should be an interesting one for sure, and I again believe that more than likely this is going to come down to the last turn. So let's get started. Alright, first thing we're going to do is pull our beginning action cards for Wahl. He has 5 health points, so we'll go ahead and pull those. Get the soldiers back up on the board here. So we're going to draw 5. Again, what we're looking for is a location marker so that we're able to get out of the mission box. It does not look like we picked one up. And we did not. So that was a free draw there. That was just to get the mission kicked off. I'm going to go ahead and discard these. I'm going to expend an action. We're going to draw 5 new cards. And I think we're out of luck here as well. I'm going to go ahead and use Gusco's Blitz to see if we can pull a location marker out of this one with this once per turn draw. Hey, look at that, we did. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and discard a card. You have to discard a card when you draw the CX right away. Go ahead and get rid of the suppressed card, I think. We'll return that to the deck. Next, we're going to go ahead and pull that location card so it's heavy rubble. So this does require 1 action to play. We'd be facing 4 resource points of hostiles by playing this card. It has a cold or environmental roll of 6 or greater, so we would need an 8 or greater to be able to successfully overcome the effects of cold for this location. Reinforcement points are 0. Kind of leads me to a little bit of apprehension on this, is the entrance cost of 5. That's pretty high. Wahl is going to have a hard time getting in there, so will Martin. But we do have a card that we could play to get this thing started. And I did mention time could be of the essence. So we're going to go ahead and play this. We're going to play the heavy rubble card. Wahl's going to expend his last action to do that. We're going to go ahead and draw 4 hostile points of enemies. So we found ambushers and then harassing force. So the ambushers are going to cause us a problem. We don't have 4 XP to play, so all of our soldiers will receive 1 suppression. And then the harassing force is a tough one because this needs to be neutralized. Otherwise, we advance the timer 1 space at the end of each soldier turn. So it more or less doubles the number of turns that get expended when it's in play by being active. So we're going to go ahead and put these down. The only thing we have going for us is that they are going to be placed in the targeted blizzard location that all of our troops are in, and that neither are screened. So we're able to attack these any way that we see fit. These are tough cards though, because the cover on these are 4. And so grenades are going to be helpful to try to break these guys down. We will pick up 5 experience points when we defeat the hostiles, which is good though. We're going to go ahead and see which soldiers they target. So we're going to go with 4 on this one, and then the one underneath targets 3. So Gusco and Otto are targeted by these guys. Okay, so now Wahl is expended. He's not going to be able to use too many of these cards to help him out here. So it's going to be up to the rest of the platoon to make a dent in these guys. First thing I think we're going to do is try to eliminate or suppress the harassing force. So it does have a cover of 4. We're going to let Martin throw a grenade. So we're going to roll to defeat cover. We add 1 to this roll. So it's a 2. So we failed to defeat cover. Now let's see if we get any hits. Well, that was a good roll. Boy, if we would have defeated the cover, we would have wiped out the harassing force with 1 toss of a grenade. But since we did not defeat cover, and we did get 4 hits, 4 suppressions are put on this. So we've neutralized that hostile card, at least for this turn. Now let's go after the ambushers. Martin is going to throw another grenade. He expends his second action. Again, we have a cover of 4. Going to add 1 to this roll. So it's 6 plus 1 is a 7. So we defeat the ambushers' cover of 4. Our 2-hit roll. We score 1 hit for a kill. And then we miss with our hit roll for the other 3 dice, but because we defeated the cover, we're going to go ahead and suppress the remaining 2 reticles. Alright. Now the remaining squads are just going to go ahead and fire at these guys and try to get a couple kills, if not more. So let's start with Otto first. He's going to go ahead and make a ranged attack. He needs a 7 or more in order to hit, but he does have that high cover roll to defeat. Cover roll, he gets a 4, so he does, and we're going after the ambushers. Now he needs a 7 to inflict a kill, and he does not. Technically he's suppressed, but that reticle was already suppressed, so we don't do anything else. He's going to go again. Misses with his cover roll, and he misses with his hit roll. Gusko's going to go. Looking for a 4. He does defeat the cover roll. The 2-hit roll is a 3. He misses, and we're going after the ambushers here again. His last action is a 2 and a 2. Nothing there. Martin's expended his actions. Wahl has his, and so that leaves Clausen. Let's go after the harassing force here. Mix it up a little bit. As with the others, he needs a 7 to hit. Cover roll is a 6, and he misses. No effect. And his last attack is a 3 and a 1. No effect. So we expended a lot of ammunition. It didn't result in much more than what our grenade tosses did by Martin, but we did suppress all the reticles, and so the effect of the harassing force is negated, and neither of the hostile cards will be able to attack during the enemy part of their turn. So we've concluded our soldier phase of this first turn. Now we move over to the enemies. We're in our mission hex of Blizzard. No reinforcements are possible, so we don't have to draw for reinforcements. No movement, nor can any attacks be made from either of the hostile cards because they're neutralized. So we're just going to go ahead and remove a suppression from each of their cards and advance our timer. And that concludes our first turn. So now we go into turn number 2. I'm going to go ahead and flip these over. I don't know about you, but when I conceptualize how much time it's going to take me to get through the mission, I really allow myself 2 turns to eliminate the hostiles that I encounter along the way. I think what makes these hostiles more difficult is the high cover numbers because they are elite. The E's on the cards mean elite. If they were F's, they'd be frontline soldiers, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. So Wahl is back in action. I'm going to go ahead and pull that CX card from Gusko here. I won't have to discard a card because Wahl's hand size is a 5 and I only have 4 cards in there, so I can keep this card without discarding another one. So this is the prepared fire card. This is going to be good because Wahl can toss a grenade and he's going to get an automatic defeat cover roll of 6. So we're going to do just that to get us going. Wahl is going to expend an action. He's going to go ahead and toss a grenade, and he's going to go after the harassing force. He's also going to play the prepared fire card. So we automatically defeat the cover. And let's see how many hits we get. We need 7s or better. So we rolled a 9. So we place 1 kill chit on there, and we're going to suppress with others, but it only has 4 reticles. 3 were already suppressed. We did inflict a kill, so we're going to go ahead and delete that grenade. So the harassing force is neutralized for this turn. We're going to return that to the deck. Wahl's going to go ahead and give 1 of his grenades, or actually 2 of the grenades, to Martin. I really do want to get these hostiles eliminated. I think we're going to go ahead and take some shots though with our squads and see if we can try to avoid tossing another grenade. So Clausen's going to go ahead and fire first. Rolls a 5 and defeats cover. We need a 7 or better to hit. And he rolls an 8. So Clausen goes ahead and gets a kill on that one. Now we're going to go up to Otto. He's going to go ahead and attack. Rolls a 4, and I should say this is on the ambusher's card. So he gets a 4, he defeats cover, and he rolls a 5 and misses. That last reticle is already suppressed. Moving up to Gusko. He's going to go ahead and flip that. He's going to make an attack. He's going to go on the ambushers. Gets a 3, misses cover. 2 misses the hit. And now it's Martin's turn. I'm going to go back through my squads and try to take a shot. I wanted to leave 1 action open in case I got lucky and could try to move these guys into the heavy rubble location this turn, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Clausen will go ahead and perform a ranged attack. Defeats cover and misses with the hit. Good grief. Otto's going to do the same thing. Nope. And Gusko defeats cover, and this is the ambushers. Jeez Louise. I can't get any hits here. Alright, well that sucks. Martin's going to go ahead and throw a grenade on the harassing force, try to pick up a few more kill hits. Add 1 for our cover, and he misses. No. And he would have had 3 hits had we been able to defeat that cover. We would have been able to eliminate that harassing force. He's going to go ahead again and do it. Gets a 3 plus 1 is a 4, so he defeats cover. And we inflict 1 kill. Man. Alright, well that's what makes this interesting. You always comes down to rolling the die to see how well you do, and this is going to make this scenario even more challenging, the fact that we haven't been able to eliminate these guys. Hindsight being 2020, I probably would have focused all my attention on the harassing force with those ranged attacks. And the reason being that that card can really impact us and keep us in this hex or this location trying to kill it. Ambushers, we can deal with those guys, but the effects of the harassing force, advancing that timer counter by 1 at the end of the soldier turn, is a real negative for us. So live and learn. And Wahl's going to get a shot here too. We're going to go ahead and play the blast. He's going to expend a grenade on the harassing force. What's nice about the blast card is that we get an additional 2 extra attack rolls, so we'll get a total of 6 10-sided dice on this attack. But we really need to defeat that cover, and we do. So we defeat the cover on the harassing force. We're going to go ahead and throw a total of 6 10-sided dice. So there's 1 hit for a kill. That leaves 1 suppress left. We're going to roll 2 more. And we get that last one with a 7. So finally, the harassing force are eliminated. Wahl's going to pick up 2 experience points. We're going to return that to the deck. Okay. And then the blast card goes away as well. Alright, so that's going to leave us with 1 reticle left of ambushers. I'm not going to let those guys slow us down to get into that heavy rubble location next. So we're going to go ahead and do our enemy part of the turn. No reinforcements because we're in the mission location. The ambushers have suppressed or killed reticles for a total of 3, so they can't move or attack. We're going to go ahead and remove the suppression though, and we'll move the turn counter to turn 7 and flip our action chits over for all of our soldiers and start our next turn. We did spend a lot of grenades, so I think we only have 1 grenade left. So hopefully we can pull a scrounge card out and use that to help replenish some of our gear that we've lost. No environmental roll is needed. I am going to try to eliminate these ambushers, so all of my squads and my non-player soldier of Martin are going to take a shot to try to get that last kill reticle on the ambushers. Before I do that, I am going to play the CX card from Gusco. See what I get. Secondary explosion. Play when you use an explosion attack to eliminate a hostile card that has an all attack. Attack a random hostile card in that location. Okay? So we don't have any hostiles that will trigger what's needed in that secondary explosion card. So we'll just put that off to the side. Alright, Clausen's going to go ahead and make a ranged attack. Gets a cover roll of 3. And we miss. No effect. Auto. Ranged attack. Defeats cover of 6. We need a 7 or better to hit. And we missed. But we did inflict a suppression. Gusco. Misses. Scores a hit, but that last reticle is already suppressed. And now Martin. He has the auto function. So he gets to roll 3 10-sided dice with that MP40. He's making a ranged attack. Rolls a 4, so defeats cover. And he's going to need an 8 or better with the MP40 to score a hit. And he does. Gets a 10. So we get that last reticle converted to a kill. So the ambushes are eliminated. And he rolled 2 4s. He does not jam, nor does he run out of ammunition. So that's good. Nice job, Martin. So he'll pick up 3 experience points. We're going to go ahead and flip that. Then we'll clone it. Good. All right, so those hostiles have been dealt with. Now we're going to go about the task of trying to move everybody into the heavy rubble location. I think we're going to be able to do it given the number of actions that Wahl has left, and we have a move out card too, so we should be able to do this without too much of a problem. So I did mention the entrance cost is 5. I'm going to go ahead and get started with our squads. Clausen has movement total of 3, so we're going to have to expend 2 cards to get him in there. So I'm going to go ahead and return rally and infiltrate to the deck. So Clausen moves in. Now I'm going to go ahead and use one of Wahl's actions to do a discard and draw. So I'm going to go ahead and take 3. Well, let's go 4. Let's go 4. I'm going to go ahead and keep that move out card. And I'm going to go ahead and discard the secondary explosion. So we have walk it off, prepared fire, reloading, and unstoppable. So we could pay with the unstoppable card 1 XP to play the card. You may perform a move without spending an action and add 3 to your movement value. So that worked out really good. This is going to be a great card for us to get Wahl into that heavy rubble. I'm not going to worry about the move out card now because we have the unstoppable card in play. So let's go about continuing to get our squads into that location. Otto's next to go. We're going to have to discard 2 to get him over there. So Otto moves in. Gusko has a movement of 3, so 2 are going to have to be expended for him. So walk it off and move out. So Gusko gets in there. Wahl's going to take another action to go ahead and draw 4 more cards. All right. And we drew another unstoppable card. Okay. So Martin's going to go next. We're going to flip that last action over for him. And we have to expend 3 cards now for him to get in there. So we're going to get rid of Blast, Mortar Support, and we'll get rid of this Unstoppable. Okay. So that leaves Wahl. Now I'm going to play both of these cards to get him in there. First I'm going to play Advance. We're going to go ahead and he's going to pick up 3. Or excuse me, we're going to play Unstoppable first. So we're going to go ahead and flip that back over. We'll clone it. So we pay an XP to play this card. Wahl may perform a move without spending an action and add 3 to your movement value. So now Wahl is able to move without expending an action. We're going to add 3 to the 1 for 4, so we're still short, and we're going to go ahead and play Advance to add 3 more to give him that additional movement factor he needs to be able to move into that heavy rubble. So he gets in there. Alright, so all of our soldiers were able to make that move into the heavy rubble. Nicely done. And we're going to go ahead and conclude the soldier phase of this turn. Beginning the enemy phase, reinforcements occur on a 0. And we pulled riflemen, resource point of 1 greater than the 0, so this card gets returned back to the deck. There are no additional soldiers, so we're going to go ahead and move the timer to the 6th turn. In 3rd turn we played 6th remaining. Flip these guys back over. I like how that worked out. That was a pretty favorable draw to get those cards that helped us with our movement. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and let Wahl draw 5. But first, before we do that, we need to roll for our environmental effects. So Wahl's just going to go ahead and redeem one of his canteens. Actually, that should have taken place after we roll for the environmental. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back. That takes place as part of our actions. It doesn't require an action, but it takes place during that turn, so I'm not going to redeem that card. We'll go ahead and do the environmental rolls first. So I might have blown that for Wahl. Alright, so we need a 6 or greater. We have the -2, so in theory we need rolls of 8 or higher to avoid a suppression or a wound taking place. Wahl gets an 8, so there's no effect. Martin gets a 1, so he's going to get suppressed. Gusko, a 7, he's suppressed. Otto, suppressed. And then Clausen, a 7, he is suppressed. Well, that shows you just how impactful those environmental rolls can be when you fail. Alright, I'm going to not remove those suppressed yet. I'm going to go ahead and draw 5 cards for Wahl to see what I'm able to get. See if I can get a card that can help us with this removing of all these suppressions on the soldiers. Nope, nothing there. That could require an action. So I'm going to go ahead and on Gusko remove this suppression. I don't think I'm going to spend an action, or excuse me, an experience point to do that. I could, I suppose. And why I could do that is the Guts card that Wahl has. I can pay an XP to remove 1 suppression on your soldier. So technically it would take 2 XP. So you pay the 1 to activate the Guts, and then because I would be activating Guts for a player other than Wahl, I'd have to pay another experience point. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let these suppressions ride. So we're going to flip that, delete it, flip, oh, excuse me, delete it, flip, okay, so everyone's used 1 action. None of these cards really intrigue me a whole lot. I do like the take cover card in case we get a reinforcement that could bring a lot of hurt down on the soldiers. I am looking for a location marker too. Go ahead and draw that CX card for Wahl. I don't believe I've done that yet. Infiltrate, play when you are paying a nature locations cost. Ignore the entrance cost penalties on the hostile cards. Go ahead and get rid of the open hatch. And I'm going to go ahead and do a discard and draw here. I'm going to keep the take cover card. Turn those. We're going to play as... Boy. I'm going to go ahead and redeem the canteen. So now he has 2 Hardys. And then I'm going to take the canteen and I'm going to redeem the last one for 3 cards. There we go, location marker. We go ahead and return that to the deck and pull one of these. And we pulled the warehouse. Oh, that's a very tempting card to play. Challenge is that we're going to pull 6 hostile resource points. And this could become a real quagmire for us to try to get through the hostiles that will be in that location. The benefit is, though, we get 4 resource points of gear. It's very tempting. I don't know how well we're set up, though, to engage a lot of hostiles with only 1 grenade left. But what we could do is go ahead and do a discard and draw. Maybe pick up a scrounge card. If we were able to do that, get 3 additional grenades, that would give us 4. We could play the warehouse card next turn. Hopefully defeat the enemies quickly, and then pick up 4 additional resource points of gear. So we're going to do that. Wahl's going to expend his last action. Go ahead and... Wow, what was that? We're going to go ahead and delete that. Return that to the deck. Return that. Should I keep the take cover card? I think we should. So we're going to grab 3 of these. 1. Oh, I didn't want to do that one. I'm going to go 1. Nope. What am I doing? Getting tired. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You got to be kidding me. So we picked up 2 location cards. Let's see what those are. Crossroads. And then our next one is the tank factory. Alright, we'll take a look at those and see what we want to do. We already discussed the warehouse card. Crossroads, low entrance cost fee. Reinforcements are high, 5 to 9, so we're going to, for a reinforcement to come on the board there, it's going to be a tank. If a tank comes on, we're pretty much screwed. Not too worried about that, but it could cause us a huge problem with ones drawn. Environmental cold roll of 4 or greater. It's not too bad. Problem is we always draw for reinforcements, so unless we play a stay low card, regardless of whether we're in that hex or not, reinforcements are going to be drawn for. And it does have 6 hostile resource points that are going to come into play. And then the tank factory, 1 action to play structure, hostiles and soldiers gain +1 cover against ranged attacks. entrance cost of 4, and then we're going to face 4 hostiles with reinforcements of 0. We don't have any environmental rolls on that. So, leaning towards the tank factory. Alright, so Wahl has expended all of his actions. We're not going to play any location cards this turn. We move to the enemy part of the turn, the enemy phase. So we are going to draw for reinforcement of 0. And we drew a machine gun team, value of 2, so that gets returned to the deck. We're going to go ahead and move our timer over to the 5th. 5 turns remaining. We'll go ahead and flip our action chits over. Sorry, gang. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and roll for our environmental impact due to the blizzard. So Wahl rolls a 4, so he fails. I'm going to go ahead and expend one of my hardy chips. And we have Martin. A 9, he passes. Gusko rolls a 5, he fails. Otto, a 1. And then Clausen rolls a 6, he also fails. Alright, so 2 of our soldiers pass. I'm going to go ahead and play the Guts card to expend 2 experience points. I'm going to go ahead and take the suppression off Gusko. I'm going to pay an action point. Take that off out of Otto, and then I'm going to leave Clausen suppressed here for just a moment. Okay, Wahl is going to go ahead and play the tank factory. Move that over to here. We're going to go ahead and draw 4 resource points of hostiles. So a large squad and riflemen. Okay, not bad at all. We do get an event card, though we're going to have to pull for the large squad. Immediately perform an attack for a random hostile in play that is in range to attack. The hostile also attacks as normal this turn. So both of these will go ahead and be eligible to make that attack because they have a range of 1. I'm going to go ahead and draw my targets for these hostiles. First one is going to target Wahl. The rifleman will target Clausen. Now I'm going to go ahead and roll a dice to see which one will get the benefit of this surprise event. So even, it'll be our large squad. Odd, it'll be the rifleman. So we'll roll the 6-sided dice. So the riflemen will get the benefit of the event card. They're going to go ahead and make an attack on number 5. Which is Clausen. So they'll score 2 wounds with a defeat cover roll of 2 if they roll a 10. Otherwise, we could get a miss or a 1 wound. So the cover roll by the riflemen as they attack. 5, they defeat cover. 10-sided die roll is a 5, which results in 1 wound on Clausen. We do have the take cover card though, which we're going to play. Pay 1 XP to play this card. Play after you any soldier rolls for a hostile's card attack. So we're going to have to expend 2 resource points to play this card. But that's going to eliminate the wound on Clausen. So those take cover cards come in handy. Alright. So Clausen is still suppressed. Wahl is going to go ahead and play an action to do a discard and draw. So we're going to put these guys back in their piles. And we're going to go ahead and draw 5 cards. Return that back to the event deck. So cover me, ready, take cover, extra magazine, and a location marker. Okay, so the cover me card will come into use here. And let's see here. Alright, let's get the guys into this location. Martin's going to go ahead, expend an action to move into the tank factory location. So it requires 4 movement points. He has 2, so we'll have to expend 2 cards. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the location marker and then the extra magazine. So Martin's able to move in there. He's going to throw his last grenade. He's going to go on the large squad. So we have a defeat cover roll of 3. Flip that over. So he rolls a 6, so he defeats cover. Now we need a 7 or greater to hit. And he gets 2 hits, an 8 and a 9, and 2 suppressions. Alright, not a bad roll. Delete. Gusko's going to go ahead and move into that location. And we're going to have to discard 1 card for him. It'll be the ready card that we return to deck. So Gusko's in there. I'm going to go ahead and draw, do a discard and draw. I'm going to get rid of that take cover. I'm going to keep the cover me card. So we're going to take 4 for Wahl. That'll be his last. There we go. We got a scrounge. Location marker, trailblazing, and a silver bullet. Okay. I like the scrounge card a lot, so we're going to go ahead and keep that one. We're going to need those grenades. Clausen would need to have 1 card to be able to move into that, so we're going to go ahead and have him play an action to remove that suppression. Oops. So we're going to go ahead and delete that. We're going to go ahead and flip that. He's going to go ahead and move into the tank factory. We're going to go ahead and play this to give him that additional movement point. And that leaves Wahl and Otto left. So Otto's going to go ahead and go. Shoot. No, Otto's going to stay put. He's got a ranged attack, so he can shoot twice at one of these cards. He'll just need a 9 to hit or better. So he's going to stay put. I'm going to go ahead and play the Cover Me card, and we're going to use Trailblazing and Silver Bullet as the two cards to round out that support. So all of the non-player soldiers and squad cards may perform an attack this turn. Alright, so Martin's going to be able to go ahead and make an attack. He's going to use his MP40. He's going to go on the rifleman. So he rolls a 3, so he defeats cover. And his auto attack, 9, 3, and an 8. So he scores a kill. Needed an 8 or better. So Martin's used his Cover Me attack. Now we have Gusko. He's going to be able to make 2 attacks. First we'll use his Cover Me attack. And he's going to go on the rifleman. So he defeats cover. Gets another hit. Now he's going to make his last action, range attack. Defeats cover. And he misses with his hit, so we put a suppression on there. Otto is 1 hex away, or 1 location away, so he's going to need a 9 or better to hit. And let's see, we've put 3 on here, so they're down to 1. We've got 4 here, so 2, so we're getting closer. I'm going to go on the rifleman here. So Otto's going to go. Cover roll is a 5. He defeats it. He needs a 9 or a 10 to hit, and he misses. But we do suppress. And he's going to go after the large squad now. Does not break cover, and he misses. He gets his Cover Me attack though, so we're going to give him 1 more. And he inflicts a suppression. And we're down to Klassen. He's going to go ahead and make his last attack with that, or an attack with that action. He gets a 3, and he was going on the large squad. And a 10, so that's a kill. And he's going to use his Cover Me attack on the large squad. Defeats cover, and he fails to secure a hit. Okay, so we've neutralized the large squad and the rifleman. That's good. There are no actions available for anybody left. We have a scrounge card. We'll be able to redeem that for some grenades. So the next thing is we're going to go ahead and move into our enemy or hostile phase of the turn. So both of the location cards are going to be able to draw for hostile reinforcements. The zeros are going to be needed for both. So for heavy rubble, we draw flankers, which is a 2. We'll return that to the deck. And for the tank factory, rifleman is a 1. We're going to go ahead and return that back to the deck. We'll eliminate a suppression on each of these hostiles. And we're going to advance our turn counter. So we have 4 turns remaining. We will replenish our grenades, hopefully. And with a little luck, we'll eliminate these hostiles as well. We're going to go ahead and get started with the 4th turn, or 4th remaining turn. I did notice I made a mistake. I was watching back the video, and the tank factory, you add 1 cover against ranged attacks. And so when I was looking at the attack on the large squad and the riflemen, I noticed one of the last hits that resulted in a KIA on the large squad did not in fact hit. I only rolled a 3 to defeat cover. I should have had a 4. With the tank factory, you add 1 to cover for hostiles and player or soldiers in this location when they're attacked. So what I did do was eliminate one of the KIA markers, and this looks accurate. So I did make that mistake. Frankly, I'd forgotten about the +1 cover for all of my attacks against the riflemen and large squads. However, when I looked back and watched the replay, there was only 1 attack towards the end that was impacted by forgetting about that cover roll. I would say that is one thing I dislike about the VASSAL module. When I'm playing on a tabletop, I'll use 6-sided dice to remind me of additional movement costs or what the total movement cost is to get into that location box. I'll also use it for attacks to remind me that I have a modifier to my attack. I'll also do it for cover modifications like we have here for Tank Factory. So on my board that I have in front of me when I'm playing the cards and dice version of this, I'm able to keep track of all the little things that are going on. I haven't figured out a way with VASSAL yet to do that. I'm open to suggestions if anyone has, how we can use this mod to effectively track some of those things. So anyways, it isn't the end of the world, and I do believe I corrected it with how I removed that KIA from the large squad. So we've got 4 turns left. We've got the scrounge card that we should be able to purchase. We're going to go ahead and begin our 4th to the last turn with the player soldier phase, and we're going to begin with our environmental rolls. So we'll go ahead and get the player, non-player soldiers and squads up. We're going to go ahead and start with Wahl. He does have 1 hardy left should he fail this roll for the heavy rubble. Again, we subtract 2 from our rolls because of the blizzard. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with Wahl. So our environmental roll for Wahl is a 2. He fails. So I'm going to go ahead and redeem this last hardy for no effect. I'm going to go ahead and resolve Otto's roll, being that he's in the same hex as Wahl, so we need a 6 or better -2, actually an 8 to defeat that roll, and he does not. So Otto's going to suffer a suppression. Gets a little bit easier for our soldiers in the Tank Factory hex. They have no environmental roll that needs to be rolled for them, so we aren't going to have to worry about that. Otto did pick up that suppression though, and I think I'm going to go ahead and flip that action over, expend that to remove that suppress on him should I not pick up a card when I do a discard and draw action here that can automatically remove that suppression. So I think the first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and discard and draw, so Wahl can draw up to 5 total cards. So he already has the scrounge. We're going to keep that. We're going to go ahead and take 4 of these. We have Draw Fire, which is more of a defensive card. Snapshot. Combined Fire, that's a good one. And then Fubar. Okay. We'll get the CX card from Gusco. So we'll draw 1 card here, and we got Attack. Play when you inflict a hit at range 0, inflict a hit on the same hostile. Okay, I like that card. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the draw fire. We'll return that to deck and move attack over to here. Snapshot and attack could be pretty valuable for us here. Okay, and Wahl expended that action to do that discard and draw. So we need to eliminate the rifleman and the large squad. We also need to activate our truck convoy, which is going to have us draw 5 resource points of enemies. We've got 4 turns left. I think what I'm going to do is focus on eliminating the large squad and riflemen and getting Wahl and Otto into the tank factory location before we end the turn. And then we'll be prepared and set up to deal with the hostiles from the truck convoy. Plus we should be able to redeem our scrounge card as well. So we're going to eliminate the 2 hostiles, get Wahl and Otto into the tank factory, and put us in a position so that we can redeem the scrounge card. If everything goes perfect, that'll be our accomplishment. Let's go ahead and get started with our attacks. Again, we're going to add 1 to the cover for the hostiles in this location because of the tank factory benefit, so we'll need a 3 for the rifleman and a 4 for the large squad. Clausen is going to go ahead and attack. He's going to go on the rifleman, so we'll go ahead and flip that. Need a 3 or better to defeat cover, and he rolls a 1. He does not. Let's see if he gets a hit. A 4. Nope, he missed with that too. He's going to go again. This time he rolls a 3, so he defeats cover, and our attack is a 4. He misses, so we do add suppress though. So all 4 reticles of the rifleman are suppressed. Otto is going to go ahead and spend an action to remove that suppression on himself. He's going to move into the tank factory. So we're going to need to get rid of 1 card to allow him to do that. So Fubar is going to get removed. That'll give him 1 extra movement. Gets him up to 4, so he gets into the tank factory location and he expends all of his actions. In a classic example of getting 1 step ahead of yourself before you needed to, I should have played the combined fire card. That would have given Clausen a +1 to his roll. I'm going to add the experience point. Now we're going to add 2 to the roll. So I misplayed that. I should have done it right away, and Clausen could have received the benefits of it. Gusko is going to attack. He's going to go on to the large squad. So he needs a 4 on the defeat cover roll in order to do so. He does not. We're going to add 2 to his 2 hit, an 8. Add 2 as a 10, so he does suppress the large squad. So all reticles for our hostiles are covered. Gusko's going to go ahead and flip that. He's got another attack. This time he's going to go on the rifleman. Rolls a 1, does not defeat cover, and the 2 hit is irrelevant because we've already taken care of all 4 reticles to our suppress. We can't add another suppress. And now Martin's going to go ahead and attack. He's going to roll for his MP40. He's going to go on the rifleman. Defeat cover. 5, he does so. And then he's going to roll his auto attack, adding 2, and we get an 11. So one of these turns into a kill. And we have 1 suppression left on there. Martin did not run out of ammo, nor did he jam, so he'll get another attack. We're going to go ahead and roll for cover. 5, he defeats cover. And with his 3 auto attack rolls, he gets an 8. We're going to add 2 to the combined fire, so he hits. And the riflemen are eliminated. He's going to pick up 1 experience point as well. And we'll return that to the deck. That leaves our large squad. Wahl has 1 move left. He's going to go ahead and enter the tank factory location. He would have to expend 3 cards to do so. I think I'm going to go ahead. Darn it. Okay. I'd like to be able to use that snapshot on the attack card for an attack by Wahl. But I'm going to go ahead and use snapshot. Boy, I like that card a lot. I do want to redeem, though, the scrounge card, too. Oh, goodness, what are we going to do here? Okay, I'm not sure if this is the best course of action, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to use the last action to draw two cards. All right, so that was Wahl's last action. Now we're going to go ahead and redeem our scrounge card. So we're going to use these 2 cards to satisfy the support of 2. So we play scrounge. All right, and we pick up 3 gear. So Wahl is going to pick up 3 grenades. All right. He's going to go ahead and play snapshot. So he'll make a ranged attack with his bolt action rifle. We're going to add 1 to the penetration roll, so he's going to go after the large squad. So we rolled a 6 plus 1 is a 7, so we defeated cover. And our 2 hit. We're going to add 2 to this roll. A 4 and a 6, he misses. So Wahl misses with his snapshot. We're going to return that to the deck. Combined fire is going to go back to the deck. And we'll delete that experience point. And that is going to conclude our soldier phase of this turn. I don't know, I feel like I kind of botched that a little bit, but that's what makes this game so interesting for me, is that there's unique ways that you can play your cards to maximize the opportunities that you have for success. And sometimes when it works, it's great. And then other times when it doesn't, you're like, oh shoot, I could have done this, but just how the game works out. So we're going to go ahead and draw for reinforcements as we move into the enemy phase of the 4th to last turn. So reinforcements of 0 for the heavy rubble, and we drew a 3 for a large squad, so we'll put that back. And now we draw for the tank factory, and we picked recruits. So we're going to have a few recruits show up, and they're going to target Martin. Could have been a lot worse. There's only 2 reticles on this one. So now it's the enemy attack portion of the turn. So the recruits are going to go ahead and attack Martin. Martin gets the benefit of the +1 on cover for the tank factory location, so he's up to a 3. So they need a 3 or higher to defeat cover, and they roll a 1, so they do not. We're going to roll to see if they score a hit. They need a 7 or higher, and they roll a 6, so no hit is scored. Had they scored a hit and having failed cover, it would have resulted in a suppression being placed on Martin, but in this case it had no effect. The large squad has been neutralized with the suppressions that have been added to it, so there's no attack from them. There's no movement to take place. The soldiers are already in the hex that they are attacking our soldiers in. And so we're going to go ahead and remove a suppression marker. From the large squad, advance our timer to 3 turns remaining, and begin the next turn with our player phase. Alright, first thing is the environmental roll. So Wahl is going to have to roll an 8 or better, otherwise he suffers a suppression or a wound. And he rolls a 10. Outstanding, he passes the environmental roll. I'm going to go ahead and take a discard and draw action. I won't be discarding any cards, but I am going to draw 4 cards for Wahl. Before I flip those over, I'm going to go ahead and flip his action. So we drew a location marker, snapshot, self-sacrifice, and blind spot. Okay, and now I'm going to use my CX from Gusco to draw the 1 card for that. We have flanking attack. This is good. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the location marker. The challenge we have with Wahl is that for him to get into the tank factory location, he's going to have to play 3 cards. So we're going to have to be smart how this works. I like the flanking attack. I like the attack card. So I'm probably going to discard snapshot, self-sacrifice, and blind spot to be able to get Wahl into that location. So I'm going to play, well, I can't do that either. Shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. I can't play flanking attack because I need those 3 cards to get Wahl into the tank factory because his movement value is only 1. I really like that attack card, but I think I'm thinking too hard on this. So Wahl's going to move into the tank factory. I need to discard 3 cards for him to be able to do that. So blind spot's going to be returned to the deck, self-sacrifice, and then flanking attack. So those are the 3 cards that are discarded. Wahl is going to move into the tank factory. He's going to make an attack with snapshot. And we're hoping that we inflict a hit so we can use the attack and have another hit inflicted on one of the hostiles. He's going to go for the recruits. So we moved Wahl into the tank factory. We're going to play snapshot for a free attack. We need a 2 or better on our cover roll to defeat the recruit's cover. We've got a 6, +1 for the bolt action rifle, that's a 7. So now we're looking to score a hit on the attack, and he needs a 7 or higher to do that. And he gets an 8, so we inflict 1 kill. And now we're going to play the attack card. Play when you inflict a hit at range 0, inflict another hit on the same hostile. So we're going to go ahead and clone that. 2 kills on the recruit card. That's going to allow him to be eliminated. No experience points will be awarded to Wahl because it's a 0, but we did get rid of that hostile. So those cards worked out okay. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to activate the truck convoy. So we're going to eliminate this counter. And we're going to draw 5 hostiles worth of resource points. So there's 2 and 3. So we drew a sniper team. So we're going to put the cavalry right here. We're going to put the sniper team right there. Alright, we'll go ahead and draw targets. The first one is going to be for the sniper team. Alright, they're going to target Wahl. Cavalry are going to go after Otto. Or Clausen, excuse me. Alright, sniper team has a range of 2, so they're a threat from the truck convoy location. Cavalry have a range of 0, so we're not too worried about them this turn. They're screened by a 0 to 2, so when I say we're not worried about the cavalry this turn, that isn't quite the case, because they do screen that sniper team. So that'll impact our chance to attack that sniper team. And we have to suppress or kill 3 reticles on the cavalry or combination thereof to remove their effects of screening of that sniper team. So how are we going to do this? We don't have any cards to play. We do have his number was up. So what I could do is play this card and eliminate the sniper team. You purchase this card for any soldier, blah blah blah. When you draw a hostile card, you may down this soldier and discard this card to discard the hostile card. No XP. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Go ahead and delete that. So the sniper team is going to be eliminated because of his number was up skill. So we lucked out there that I remembered that. That leaves us with the cavalry in that location. I feel much better about it. And then the large squad has 3 suppressions, 2 kills. I'm going to go ahead. That'll give them a wound on a 6 or greater. I'm gonna go ahead and move into the truck convoy location. Go with an attack on the cavalry. So we're gonna go ahead. We'll start with Martin. I'm gonna flip that over. It's got a movement of 2. We only need 1 to get into that location. So Martin moves in. He's going to go ahead and shoot at the cavalry. So he needs a 1 or more to defeat cover. He automatically will get that by rolling a 6-sided die. Now he needs an 8 or greater to score a hit. And we rolled, wow, 8, 9, and 9. So 1 kill is inflicted. Now we have Gusko. Gusko's going to go ahead and move in there. He's number 3, so Gusko moves in. Going to go ahead and attack. Defeats cover. We need a 7 or better, and he scores a 1, so there's a suppress. Otto was going to do the same thing. Six, defeats cover, rolls a 7, scores a kill, and then Clausen. I don't recall spending those 2 actions. I'm going to have to go back and watch this turn on the replay because I don't remember how Clausen expended those actions. It was Wahl that we needed to get into that tank factory, and he's the one who eliminated the recruits. So I think I forgot to flip Clausen's chits back over. I'm quite certain I did. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Otto needs to make a move into here, and he's going to attack. He'll defeat cover. Needs a 7 or better on the hit, and he does. We flip that over. The cavalry have been eliminated. We're going to return that to the deck. Alright, and that leaves Clausen with a move into the truck convoy location. He's going to do that. Flip this over, and now he's going to attack the convoy. So the trucks have a cover of 3, and they need a hit on each one in order to eliminate them and allow us to defeat and win the objective hex. So I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use the canteen counters. I like to have things that I can mark things with to keep track. I'm getting old and I just don't remember things like I used to. Alright, so those represent our 4 trucks. So Clausen's going to go ahead and go. He needs a 3 to defeat cover. Rolls a 1, so we aren't going to roll for the hit because there's no suppression on this. Okay. You know what I should have done is I should have given the grenades to Martin when Wahl was in that location. That was a mistake. Okay. We'll see how we can overcome it. Now the large squad is going to get a shot off in the enemy phase of this turn. We'll first go ahead and draw for reinforcement. So for the tank factory, it's a reinforcement value of 0. We drew flankers. Return that because it had a resource point of 2. Truck convoy has a reinforcement of 1. And we draw riflemen. So riflemen are going to get placed there. And we're going to go ahead and see which soldier they target. And they target Martin. And we don't have any defensive cards to play. So we're going to go ahead and resolve their attack. The large squad gets 1 attack. There's a total of 5 reticles that are either suppressed or killed. So they're going to roll on the 2-to-1 chart. So on a 6 or greater, they'll hit and inflict a wound on Wahl. Wahl's cover is 1. We're going to increase it 1 for the tank factory, so they need a roll of 2 or greater to defeat cover for Wahl. A roll of 4, they do. And now they're going to attack. On a 6 or greater, they inflict a wound. And they roll an 8. So Wahl has a wound inflicted on him. Alright. And they've attacked. Now the riflemen are going to go after Martin. Martin has a cover of 2. So they rolled a 5, they defeat cover. Now the attack, they need a 6 or better in order to score a wound on Martin. And they rolled an 8. So Martin has a wound put on him. Oop, flip that over. Okay. So our soldiers have spilled a little bit of blood here. There's no movement required. Each of the hostiles is in the location that their player soldier is in that they're attacking, so there's no movement. We're going to go ahead and remove a suppress counter. And we'll advance the timer, so we're down to 2 turns left. Alright, so Wahl does not need to make an environmental roll because the tank factory does not require it. However, the truck convoy, we have a roll of 4 or greater with a -2 modifier because of the blizzard for each of the soldiers in that location. So I'm going to go ahead and flip all the action chits over first. Whoop. So one of the effects on the NPS or non-player soldiers or squads cards when you have a wound on their card is that they have one of their actions eliminated. Martin has 2 total health, and the wound will take one of those actions away, and then if you look at his card, he only has 1 action when he has 1 action remaining. If that makes any sense. I don't think it does. But anyways, we'll keep moving on with how that wound affects Wahl. Is rather than 5 cards being drawn, he'll only be able to take 4, so his player hand size decreases. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw 4 cards. Oop, I got to roll for the effects of the suppression, or excuse me, in the environment. I forgot that. So we'll go ahead with Martin, and we need a 6 or better for him not to suffer suppression. So he rolls a 10. That's good. Gusco rolls a 1. So we're going to place a suppression on him. Otto fails. We'll put a suppression on him. Clausen, he passes. So we have 2 suppressions that were added, 2 different soldiers. We have a couple wounded guys. We're still not in too bad a shape to win the scenario because we have 1 full turn next turn to go ahead and try to destroy those trucks as well. The large squad isn't going to move. They will have a suppression removed though at the conclusion of this turn, but they'll still only be attacking this turn at the 2-to-1 mark. So I think our main goal is to get Wahl in that hex so he can pass out some grenades. So Wahl's going to move into the truck convoy location using that last action. He's going to go ahead and give Martin a couple grenades. He'll keep 1 for himself. Martin has 1 action. He's going to go and throw a grenade, and he's going to target the truck convoy. So he'll spend his last action to do that. So he's going to go ahead and target the truck convoy. So we need a cover roll of 3 or greater to defeat cover, and he gets it. 3 plus 1 is a 4. So he defeats cover, and he needs to inflict on a hit on each of the trucks. So we're going to roll the 4 10-sided dice. A 7 or better is a hit. And he scores 1 hit. So we'll go ahead and delete that. So we have 3 trucks remaining. Gusco has a suppress. We're going to go ahead and remove that. Then we're going to play the CX card. That's a blind spot. Good card when you're dealing with vehicles, worthless when there's none on the board, nor should we expect to see any, given the resource points drawn for reinforcements. It's a pretty much worthless card. Gusco is going to go ahead and shoot at the rifleman. Rolls a 6 to defeat cover and a 10 to hit. I'm going to place a KIA there. My thought is, I'm concerned because they're going to target Martin, and in doing so, Martin already has a wound on him, and so if he gets a second wound, he'll be down. So we won't have him around, he'll be down. So trying to get it to make it more difficult for the rifleman to take him out, I need to either suppress or kill one more reticle to drop him down to the 2-to-1 range. So hopefully we can do it here. So Otto's going to go ahead and expend an action to get rid of that suppression. Otto attacks, rolls a 5, defeats cover, and gets an 8, inflicts another kill on the rifleman. That was good. So now we're down to 2 reticles, so we would need a 9 or greater on that 2-hit roll for the rifleman for them to down Martin. Then Clausen has 2 actions left. I'm going to go after the truck convoy. So the first attack needs a 3 to defeat cover. Rolls a 2, does not. And his second attack gets a 6, 7 or better to hit, and a 5 he misses. Okay, that's it for our soldiers. Coming down to the wire. We're going to go ahead and move into the enemy part of this turn. Reinforcements for the truck convoy is a 2. Reinforcement of 1, so we're not going to play that. Now it gets returned back to the deck. Now our attack, the large squad, is attacking with 2 reticles on Wahl, so they're going to need a 6 or greater to inflict a wound. They defeat cover, and they roll a 4. So Wahl is suppressed. And then the riflemen are going to target Martin. Martin has a cover of 2, so if our cover rolls a 1, the best they can do is suppress. They roll a 5, so they defeat cover. A roll of 9 or greater on the 10-sided dice downs Martin. Oh no, Martin's down. Dun dun dun. So he is down. Okay, it's part of the game. Martin was a valuable soldier. Now, the reason I say he's down is that he's not, if we were playing a campaign scenario, we would roll after the scenario to see if he recovers or what the recovery time is for him. So he's technically not killed. However, for the fact that we're not playing a campaign, he's down. So he's been eliminated from the platoon. all of his gear would remain in that hex and we'd be able to pull it. I don't remember throwing 2 grenades though with Martin. I think he has 1 grenade left. I think I forgot or didn't do that correctly by placing a 3rd grenade when we had that transfer of gear from Wahl to Martin. So I'm going to go ahead and put a grenade back down there. I think I shorted myself 1. So the riflemen down Martin. We're going to go ahead and remove a suppression from our large squad. They can't move. Otherwise they would move because Wahl moved into the truck convoy. If they weren't suppressed, they could move into that location, but they are suppressed so they don't move. Nothing to remove for the riflemen. So we're going to go into our last turn. We still have 3 trucks to eliminate. We got some stuff going on here. I'm going to flip my action chits over. Martin will remain without any actions. Okay. Now we're going to need to roll for the environmental impacts of the blizzard and the weather in the truck convoy location. So Wahl's going to get started. Basically need a 6 or greater in order to defeat the environmental roll. Wahl rolls a 10, which is outstanding. Martin is not going to roll. Gusko 7, he defeats it. Otto 4, he fails. And Clausen has a couple hardies here, so he fails, but we go ahead and expend one of these. And so now we're faced with a suppressed Wahl. I'm going to go ahead and use Guts. Pay 1 XP to remove 1 suppression on your soldier. So we're going to go ahead. This experience point with Martin, experience points really belong to the entire platoon. They go into a pile, so it isn't impacted at all with him being down. So we're going to go ahead and use that experience point to get the benefits of the Guts skill, and Wahl is not suppressed. So Wahl's going to pick up this other grenade. So now he has 2 grenades to toss with 2 actions, and he's going to go directly for the truck convoy. Let's see what else we have going on here. Otto will go ahead and flip that. We're going to delete that. And we're going to play that CX card from Gusko. Maybe we can get something that helps us with our grenade attack. Nope, not a location marker. That's not going to do it. Okay, so it's a do or die situation for us here to win this thing. Wahl's going to have to help us out with some grenades, otherwise our riflemen are going to have to get it done with ranged attacks. So Wahl is going to go ahead and expend an action to toss a grenade. We need a defeat cover roll of 2 or greater. We're going to add 1 penetration for the grenade. So we do get it. 2 plus 1 is a 3. Truck convoy's cover is a 3, so we defeat the cover. Now we need some hits. A 9, 4, and 1. So we eliminate 2 more trucks. And we have 1 truck left. Wahl has 1 action to expend. He's going to do that. He's going to throw the grenade. Looking for a 2 or better. We get it. We defeat cover. Our attack roll with grenades. Drum roll, please. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And we score a hit to take out the last truck. Alright, so as soon as we achieve our victory objectives, the scenario is over, so we won. Came at a price though. Martin was downed. It's too bad. I liked his card. He contributed to the last 2 or the last scenario that we played as well. I'm going to go ahead and see here. I'm just going to pull up the rules real quick. We're just going to roll for him for the fun of it. Hope you enjoyed it. I thought this was a pretty fun scenario. There was some pretty cool stuff that came up. You know, I'm not going to go about looking at this now. I'm going to, I'll do another scenario here with these same guys, providing I have the resource points for it, and I'll let you know what happens to Martin when we get him back to the field tent. So, thanks for watching. Please leave your comments in the comment section if you so desire. Like and subscribe if you thought this had some value and you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun putting this together. All right, take care, everyone.